By crying.
He said I should start the video by crying. We're here to talk about After the Burial's new album, Wolves Within. It finally released! After whatever. Let me start by saying this before we give our thoughts on this. We talked to the band at Warped Tour 2012. So the summer of 2012, and they said, we got a new song coming out soon. That didn't happen.
I thought they said by the end of 2012. Then it was the beginning of 2012. Then it was the beginning of 2013,
and then they kind of rushed it out. What's your thoughts on the album? Wolves Within.
I mean, they did a good job of kind of combining Rare Form and In Dreams in a way or two. I mean, Rare Form was more shreddy and stuff and fast-paced and a lot of spontaneous, erratic, After the Burial stuff. And then In Dreams, I felt was a little more, I don't know, down to earth. Not boring, not lame or anything like that, but just not as shreddy. And not that's a bad thing. I can't talk. But I mean, I felt this album kind of combined some shreddy stuff and some more down to earth gent, or whatever you want to call it. I don't even know if I don't really know what class of what counts as gent anymore. That's why I use the term lightly. I just don't know what counts for gent and what's not gent, because I'm not going to call it gent, obviously, if I could call it something else.
Gent-free.
What? Jeffrey?
Gent-free.
Alright, this is an album that fits into the genre of Jeffrey. Jeffrey core. But no, I don't know what to call it, but it's a lot of groovy, this low-tuned, bouncing around, heavy, thick guitar that I don't really know what to call it, I guess. It's After the Burial. It does sound a little heavier, the rhythm stuff on this album, and I mean, it's just all around pretty good. I know I give a lot of bands crap for being gent or whatever you want to call it, just because I can consider some bands to truly be gent if, they're different. After the Burial spices it up, and they have their own sort of take on this, this type of music that's becoming popular, this low, heavy, groovy stuff. Like, I don't know, other bands like Volumes and stuff. Not that I'm going to say anything bad about Volumes, it's just that kind of music that's out now that seems to be coming out, like Northlane, Volumes, stuff like that. The groovy, low-tuned stuff that people seem to dig. But then there are bands that sort of have that sort of style that they're just uninteresting. But After the Burial, the reason I can give them credit is because they aren't uninteresting to me. They make their music interesting. And these dudes, their talent truly shows when they have more than just the groovy rhythm stuff, or, the heavy, build up to like a breakdown, I guess, and then, everything sort of explodes or whatever. They have these leads, these solos, harmonies. They show their talent that they have. If you take away all of the, if you just took away the top, 3 strings of their guitar, that's a lot of other bands to me. But, these guys have these awesome leads, and they can play this low stuff on, the 6th string, and then they play, lead stuff, solos. They have a variety of stuff, and they keep it interesting to me. And I felt that's what they did with this album. And I didn't mean to go too into the band itself, but this album really showcases what After the Burial has become and what they can do now. They can still shred and stuff in quite a few songs, and they can still have these heavy parts, these more groovy type of vibes that they had in Dreams, and just a lot groovier and heavier in this album. But like I said, it's kind of a combination of the first and the second, or not the first, but Rare Form and In Dreams to me, and Anthony sounds pretty good. I feel like he sounds a bit different, a little better. I'm not sure how. A bit more of a solid vocal style to me. It's a bit more, I don't know, it sounds a little stronger. His high screams are pretty awesome. He's always been a good vocalist, has a lot of range, but it sounds a bit stronger. So, yeah.
Right down here at the bottom, on the back of the CD, in very small print, it says, "Warning: life without great music is not cool. Thank you for helping us keep it alive." That's kind of cool. This album's great. Here, I'm gonna walk you through something. This album starts and they hit like this note, and it's like drop F, 9-string guitars, and it's just like boom right in your face. And it's just like, yo, this is our new sound. We got more strings now.
It reminds me of Chris Berman almost.
Here's our new shit. And then it's crazy ass fucking drum solo type thing comes in the song Anti-Pattern, the first track, and it's just like, wow. What a unique way to start an album. It's just like, boom. It's pretty cool. I listened to Anti-Pattern when, I popped this shit in. It's 7:30 in the morning, and I'm like, dude, this is awesome. This song, it's pretty slamming. It is by far the grooviest song I heard all in 2013. Probably the grooviest song I've heard in a really long time. It's full of grooves, dude. And it's great. And then there's that breakdown, a little bit into the song. And when Anthony screams, fall between the cracks, it's just like, I feel like he's popping out of the CD and he's literally screaming in my face. And that's one thing I felt about this whole album, is that he puts so much emotion and so much power into his vocals on this album. I just feel it's kind of a cut above the other two albums that he's done. You just really feel the intensity. You feel like you're sitting in the vocal booth with him, and you're watching him just scream his fucking heart out into the mic. But then I'm just gonna get out of the way. The one problem that I have with this album is it just kind of sounds weird. They kind of changed their guitar tone a little bit to get more of that gent, jub, wop wop going on, stuff like that. If you listen to a Wolf Amongst Ravens, that, gent sound, whatever. And so they kind of changed their guitar tone a little bit, which is fine. But then I don't like the way it's mixed. It's like they had these pre-production demos that they recorded, and they just fixed them up and rushed this out there to try to get it out before the end of the year or something. Because if you listen to when Anthony does these high screams, he literally drowns out the entire band. The vocals kind of are, here's the drums and the guitars mesh really well together volume level wise. But then, here's the vocals way up here, and the rest of the band's kind of down here. I'm not saying it's bad all the time, but it's just kind of like, meh. Like, it could have been a little bit better, kind of like they were rushing it out a little bit. But, I was listening to this, and for the first, 3 songs, I was like, this isn't bad. But then it hits a song, Disconnect, and I was like, this is what makes After the Burial great. These amazing harmonies, these dual leads that are just so creative and so mind-blowing, and they just go like this together. Justin and Trent just go so well together. They're like, one of them's the bread and the other one's the ham and cheese, man. It just goes perfect like that.
Bread goes with butter, not ham and
Your
cheese.
Your mom goes with butter. And
it's bread and butter. Not bread and ham and cheese. Who the fuck is the ham and cheese? One person can't be both.
Your fucking mom is ham and cheese, and your mom's the bread, too.
So my mom's in this band.
Yeah. Whatever. They're bread and butter.
That works.
They're toast. They're Doritos and cheese. They're
Doritos and cheese do not fucking mix.
They're chips and salsa.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
They're hot dogs and buns.
Hot dog buns.
They're spaghetti with sauce. They're pizza with cheese. I'm just going to move on. You get my point. They go so well together. And, songs like, I hope I say this right, Verga It's the 6th track. I don't know what the fuck it's called. Or Neo Soul or something. You know, with these just... They're so catchy, too. The riffs that they come up with. And, you know, sometimes they just have this assault of heaviness of these, you know, lower registers on the guitar. It's just like, oh my god! The soloing on here is top notch. This is why I like After the Burial. Here's every band that uses breakdowns, and here's After the Burial. They're way above the rest of them. Talent-wise, songwriting, creativity, everything. They're way above everybody in my mind. It's just the way they put songs together is fantastic. You look at A Wolf Amongst Ravens. You can argue that song goes nowhere. That's what I kind of thought when it first came out. The more I listen to it, the more I dig it. But it's vocally driven. They found ways to keep it spicy, even though, you know, it's kind of just one riff the whole time. And I feel that album is so much better in the context of, you know, all the other songs and stuff. It's such a fitting ending to the album. And you have songs like Disconnect that have these beautiful, beautiful harmonies. It just, they're wonderful. And the leads, they even got the original After the Burial vocalist. What's his name? Nick Wellner? On one of the tracks, I think it's the 6th or 7th one. One of them, he kind of comes in really awkwardly going, "Whoa!" And then he does some brutal lows. But yeah, I mean, Anthony, he sounds... There's, I think it's a second or third song. He does these, like, pig squeals. And they feel really out of place, but they make me go, fuck yeah, like, every single time, because they're just so brutal. And I'm just like, yes. Like, he really has a range, and not only do they keep it interesting the whole way through, do they spice things up, whether it's, you know, this really fucking weird riff that has a lot of bounciness to it, whether it's this lead, whether it's a solo. Anthony spices up his vocals too. Not a single line sounds exactly the same. It's just, he's not a monotone vocalist like a Born of Osiris vocalist or something. He spices it up. He's up here, and he's down here. And he's right here, and he's up here, and down here, and he's everywhere. He's just running, you know?
Yeah, you don't really hear bands use pig squeals anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he does it. He's cool, and he does it well. But I mean, you just never hear that, and it's kind of cool to see someone still do it and do it well at that.
Yeah, and you know, I would say it was about the chorus of Disconnect, with just the ambient lead that's going on, and the rhythm was just flawless, and it was so perfect. It was about right there that pretty much every song afterwards made me bob my head, put a smile on my face, and be like, wow, I'm so happy that After the Burial just put out new music, because I forgot how much I love this band. Because to be honest with you, I felt like this album was it was taking so long to come out. I was somewhat losing interest in this band. But now that I got new music, I realize what makes this band special and what makes them great and why they're so much better than a lot of bands out there.
Yeah. I mean, After the Burial doesn't really do anything trend-settingly new on this. They stick with what they do best, and they do it well and everything.
Execute it so well.
I mean, I think it was a great album from this band.
And I do agree with your point. They really did combine Rare Form and In Dreams pretty well. They took the shreddiness of Rare Form and the upbeat nature of it and combined it with the melodies and the gentiness and the grooviness of In Dreams, and just, you know, it made some good fucking sandwiches out of it.
Yeah, I agree with your point about that.
I love you.
Okay.
He doesn't love me.
Now, I'm going to try to pronounce this. Virgo?
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 These songs have weird names,
man. Hey, what are you going to give it?
Virgo?
No, the writing. We're going to give a writing. What are you going to give a writing?
I'd give this a, You can go first.
I'll give it a way out of fish crackers, mate. I don't know, like 7.5, 8 out of 10. One or the other, you fucking pick. I mean, it's not my job. Well, it is my job. But...
I'd give it.
All right, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10.
I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10 because I'm better than him. So I score higher.
All right.
This is like our last album review of the year.
No.
Actually, we have some other ones. I just haven't gotten put.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Do you?
What?
Do you?
I don't know.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Let us know what you thought of this. Buy this. Because it's pretty. You get a fucking sticker. You get, and you get a fucking poster. Hey, Sumerian Records put out a good album. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
But take
I mean,
another
it doesn't
look at
happen
yourself.
very often anymore, I feel. At least with my taste, but...
Yeah.
I
I'm going to leave you with this. Take another look at yourself. Tell me, what do you see?
It's not even his band.